Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's Beer Reviews. Hope you're doing well today. I've got a session IPA to review for you this evening. It's from Pressure Drop, who are in Tottenham, North London. As you well know, Tottenham is the home of football, and we're obviously going to be winning the league this season. Yeah, Pressure Drop. I went for this one, Eyes Up it's called. It is described as a cryo session IPA, and it's coming in at just 3.2% ABV. And I went for this one in particular because it's quite poignant. The beer industry at the moment, obviously the cost of duty on tax in beer has went up on the 1st of August. So breweries are having to change the way they operate. And a lot of the breweries at the moment are looking at some of their lower ABV beers, and they're dropping the ABV further in order to save a few quid. Nothing wrong with that, makes total sense. But the only thing is, from a consumer's point of view, is do you really want to be drinking a beer that doesn't really taste of a lot? The answer to that has got to be no. So when Pressure Drop are coming out with something like this, a 3.2% session IPA, is it any good? Is it going to be good? And is this going to be the future of the industry? Because from a barman's perspective, if it's sub 4%, they fly out. They really do. To be honest, sub 5%, that is the key market right now in beer, in my opinion. That's where the money's going. That's where people are chucking their money in. You know, if you're a beer enthusiast, yeah, you're drinking the stronger stuff. Of course you are. You know, your imperial stouts and your big IPAs. But largely, the mass market are buying sub 5% beers, particularly hazy pale ales. That is where they're selling. Pressure Drop have jumped into that. 3.2. Some of the best beers I've ever had have been sub 4 pale ales. So Verdant do a People, Money, Space and Time, which is in their core range. It's a glorious beer. Mad Squirrel do the gluten-free Hopfest. Glorious beer, consistent, brilliant. It's got all the complexity and the drinkability of a stronger pale ale. So I thought I'd review this one from Pressure Drop because I am a fan, but it's definitely the lowest ABV beer I've had from them. So Eyes Up, eye-catching, pink. A lot of pink going on with this one. It says tasting notes, it's light, it's fruity, it's extremely pintable. What more could you want from a session IPA? They've used Eldorado, Equinox and Citra hops. And yeah, Unit 6, Lockwood Industrial Park in Tottenham. Golden Spurs. So let's get this can out into a glass. See if it's any good. Like I said, I've had some fantastic lower strength pale ales recently. And there's nothing wrong with them. Absolutely not. And a lot of people kind of think, oh, I don't want to drink the lighter stuff. But when it tastes as good as, like I say, the ones I mentioned earlier, the Verdant beers and the Mad Squirrel ones in particular, there's no reason whatsoever not to want to drink these. So there it is in the glass. I mean, that looks like your everyday hazy, juicy looking pale ale, doesn't it? It looks terrific. Masses of carbonation rushing out the middle of the glass. Not that you can see it because the light's shining on me. I can see it. But it's got a full-on, thick, foamy white head, beautiful, pale gold in colour. It looks fantastic. Let's get me snouting, see what the aroma is telling us. Oh, it's glorious. It's so hoppy. And again, this is the 3.2% pale. Well, it says it's an IPA. But it's a pale, let's have it right. 3.2%, it is pineapple-y, orangey, tropical and citrus. Let's get stuck in. Cheers. It's lovely. That is ridiculously drinkable. The first thing I noticed when I tasted it, it's thin. It is thin. It's light. Like many crap supermarket beers, it has that body to it. It's light. You kind of think it's not going to be good. Going on the body, it's thin. It's watery, like a glass of squash. But then the hops kick in. And it is, after that, it's absolutely glorious. Light carbonation, beautiful, juicy, tropical fruit, pineapple and mango. Backs up everything it does on the aroma. There's a citrusy note to it. Lime, lemon. God, that quenches the thirst. And it has a slightly drying, citrusy finish to it. And again, when it's balanced out with the body, it is just a really light tropical beer. And it's glorious. It's exactly the sort of thing you want on a warm afternoon. Again, we're October now. Autumn is very much upon us. It's probably not the sort of beer that people are going to be drinking as much of this time of year, but 3.2%. If Pressure Drop can save themselves a few quid by brewing a beer like this, good luck to them. Good luck to them. Fair play to them. That is wonderful. It's hazy. It's juicy. It's thirst quenching. It's delicious. It's really good. It's exactly the sort of beer you want a session. If you're going out and meeting a few mates, tap room of choice, you go to one, you got something like this from a reputable brewery like Pressure Drop. If you know they've got something like that on tap, that's the sort of thing you can sit there for a couple of hours or so and just one after the other. And you're not going to get into a mess. You're going to be refreshed. You're going to be satisfied. That is absolutely terrific. Absolutely glorious. Eyes up. It's been a while since I've done a Pressure Drop beer on here. I should drink more of their stuff because they're really good at it. Oh, I've got no complaints with that. I've got no complaints with that whatsoever. I think the only debate is the branding, the title. Session IPA. Can't they just call it a session pale? It's not an IPA, is it really? IPAs were brewed stronger for a specific reason. You know, at 3.2%, this is certainly not an IPA, but it's a very, very hoppy, easy drinking pale ale. I think surely they should have just called it a session pale. But I think the term IPA is a selling point in the industry. If you put IPA on something, it's still a seller. It's still something that people's eyes are drawn to. They see the word IPA or the letters IPA. They sell. And that's why they've done it. But in itself, that is a terrific beer from Pressure Drop. It's lovely. It's massively drinkable. It's complex. It's fruity. It's refreshing. It's wonderful. Got no issues. Just like that. It's gone. Fear not, people. The session pale ales, the session IPAs will satisfy you. That is cracking. Eyes up from Pressure Drop. I'm not going to lie. It's not a new beer. I bought that a couple of months or so ago. But the fact that Pressure Drop have done a beer that good, at that strength, I guarantee they've done more by now. In fact, if you go onto the Pressure Drop website now, I guarantee they will have something similar, because they sell. And if it sells, they're going to keep producing them. 3.2%, you ain't got to feel so guilty about drinking it. It's a good beer. It's a solid beer. Eyes up. Pressure Drop. Check them out in Tottenham. Fantastic brewery. I hope you enjoyed the review. Give it a thumbs up. Do appreciate that. Until my next one, you take care.